potential energy. We know energy is ability to do work. Now, energy is, again, we have seen that it's related to work. Now, the work is related to force. We now see how the gravitational force has a relation with energy. Let's see for an example. A stone is there on a tower. It's a ground and there is a stone lying on the tower at a height of h. So what is the work done on this elevated object? So when a person, let's say, has taken this stone up to this height. So when the work done by the person in taking this stone up is stored in the stone as an energy. That stored energy is used up when this stone is dropped down. Let's say when the stone is dropped down, the energy that it is stored gets released. So we now want to find out what is the energy that is stored in this stone. For example, this stone of 1 kg, let's say there is a stone of 1 kg weight is lifted up against the pull of gravity to a height of 1 meter. So there is a stone 1 kg, it's been lifted up to a height of 1 meter. Now what happened? What is the work done in raising the stone? The work done is 1 Newton, which is nothing but 1 kg meter. So this is the work done on the stone in raising it up. As long as the stone is in this elevated position, 1 kg meter work that is done is stored in the stone. So when the stone in elevated position, 1 kg meter work is stored in it. The moment the stone is released, it is dropped down. This 1 kg meter work is also released. In other words, what we say is the stone has the potentiality of doing this amount of work. So we are saying that the stone has a stored energy and this has a potentiality of doing this work, of getting released, which is called its gravitational potential energy. So basically, the energy of your body will define now the potential energy. The definition of potential energy in this case is the energy of your body due to its position above the ground is called gravitational potential energy, because the energy is possessed by the body because of the gravitational force. Now we have another type of potential energy. Let's see what it is. This potential energy is created by change in shape of a body. The change in shape can be brought about by compressing, bending or twisting, and all these actions can create a change in shape of body. Let us take, for example, a circular spring. Now when the work is done on this spring, this becomes tightly coiled one. More coils. When the work is done, this is a normal shape of a circular spring. This is wound up spring. Once the work is done, it gets coiled tightly. So work is done in such way that the coiling becomes more tight. So this is a wound up spring. What happened basically in this case is this normal shape, after the work being done on it, changed the shape into the tightly wound spring. So what happened? The work done on the spring got stored in this deformed wound up spring. This is a deformed one. This is the normal original spring. This is a deformed shape. So in this spring, in this deformed shape, the work is stored. Whatever the work that is done on it got stored. Now, when you release this spring, it comes back to its normal shape. So, when the work is done, it gets a deformation. When you release that work, it comes back to normal shape. So, what happened basically, how this deformed spring has the potentiality to come back to the normal shape? Because the work done on it got stored in it. So, that stored work is the potential energy. So, the potential energy basically in the deformed spring gave back its normal shape. So, this particular potential energy is called elastic potential energy. So, we will define now the other definition for potential energy. So, in cases where the shape or size is changed, then we define the energy of a body due to a change in its shape or size is called elastic potential energy. So, in this case, it is the change in the shape and that has produced the energy that has been stored in it in the deformed wound up string. So, we call that particular energy as elastic potential energy. So, we will define the definition for potential energy, which will take care of both the situations as. So, the common definition for potential energy, the energy of a body due to its position or change in shape is known as potential energy. Due to its position is with respect to the ground. And this is generally referred as potential energy P, just the way kinetic energy is written as K dot E. So, a body may possess energy even when it is not in motion. From this potential energy, we come to know that a body can possess energy even if it is not in motion. The general tendency to think is that a body possesses energy only when it is in motion. It's not so. The potential energy defines that a body can possess energy even if it is not motion. How? Because it has got the potentiality to store the energy and deliver it whenever it is required to. Let us see some examples. A bent bow. So, a person is trying to bend the bow. What happened to the bent bow? See, by pulling the bow, which is supposed to be a straight thing, by pulling the bow, he has done the work on pulling the bow, by which the work done got stored in the form of energy in the stretched bow. So, a bent bow is one example which possesses a potential energy. See, other one is, let's say, a bird sitting at a height. Does it possess the potential energy? Of course, yes. How can we say that? It has a mass, it has a gravitational pull, sitting at certain height. Not only that, it has the potentiality to fly. So that energy, it has got certain energy because of which it is able to fly whenever it wants to. And what about a bird flying in the sky? What type of energy does it possess? A bird flying in the sky possesses both the energies, potential as well as kinetic energy, because it is in motion, so it possesses kinetic energy, and at a certain height with respect to the ground and gravitational force acts on it, so it has potential energy too. Whereas a bird sitting at a height will have only potential energy. Now from this, Let us derive the potential energy. See, potential energy is nothing but the work done on it. The work, basically it is the work stored on it, which is nothing but the work done. So the work done is force into distance. Now in this case, take the example of the stone at a height of h. What is the potential energy? If the stone mass is m and the acceleration due to gravity is g. Force is nothing but mass into acceleration, so m into g, and distance here is height. So the potential energy possessed by this stone at a height of h is mgh. Which is mgh. And units for the potential energy is just like the kinetic energy, it is joules.